Welcome back to Robot Reviews. We are here with PXG's 0317T. Pretty cool looking iron.
It is a cool looking iron for sure.
Yeah.
They've done a pretty good job with irons since day one, right? That's kind of what they're famous for.
Yes.
I play their irons on and off, quite a bit actually. Mike's building a set right now, playing around with. They just make good irons. It's obviously milled to some extent, forged. I like the weight in the back that you can change the dialing exactly the swing weight. That's a big bonus, you know. And we're just club builders, right? And you're trying to go a half inch over or a quarter inch under or whatever. The flexibility to be able to change that weight, really is nice to have.
Yeah.
So big advantage there.
And it's got a lot going on, more than it looks. To the eye, you kind of think, that kind of looks like a muscle backy.
Yeah, it's a muscle back
into a cavity almost.
Right. Obviously, they just kind of slope the heel and the toe up, so you're kind of moving a little bit more towards the heel and the toe doing that. Of course, you're kind of counteracting that by putting the weight in the middle, but
yeah.
it's a blade, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice blade, and it's a little bit stronger lofts in general. PXG's blades type stuff have been a little stronger.
If we look at a blade nowadays, we're talking around that 34 degree mark. That's what
34. Yeah, and these are like 32, right? So a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Not a big deal as long as you carry enough wedges, which pretty much everybody has to these days. Even I'm going to have to get 4 wedges in my bag at some point soon. Other than that, really good compared to the other ones. We look at the Gen 5 T. It's a little bit longer, spins quite a bit less.
Yeah.
This is pretty low spinning iron.
Right, I think some of that is like part of that 32 degree loft. If you look at that STCB, they're the kind of like more traditional style
right,
forgings.
Those are more forgings. Yeah, they're more in the middle, so they're definitely doing something to keep the spin down a little bit.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think this would probably be targeted, well, definitely from the shape at the a tour player style, but it has got some of that foam insert. It's got more tech than I think the average club in this range.
Oh yeah,
has.
Absolutely. It's not just a forged blank. That's definitely more going on there.
So this is pushed into like a weird. It's longer than some of the others. If we're talking about the
other
brands,
180 yards for 181 for a blade at 90 miles an hour is pretty long.
That's a decent distance. But the trade-off, as always, is that spin, right?
Spin so the only downside to this one is the stopping power is dipping below 3.9, which for the blade type club is relatively low. Certainly not an issue if somebody hits the ball really high. I mean, I hit the ball high. I'm never worried about stopping power with almost anything. And there's plenty of people out there like that.
Yes.
I would just say if you're a lower ball hitter, you might want to watch that a bit.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm a big fan of when you're with a guy and you're working on blade, and generally those guys have got speed anyway.
Right.
That you're just looking at that final distance. I want it landing steep and digging in.
Yep.
And I try to control that as much as possible. But really another awesome product from PXG. It looks great.
It does look good. I definitely like the look of it. Obviously black and silver works well, and they've done a nice job with all that. The advantage too is they do, and they do this in all their clubs, right? They've got this hosel where you can do either tapered or parallel to bore them out. There's weight ports in there as well, so you got a lot of flexibility with what shafts you want to put on.
And they do the extreme dark version if you want to get really sexy colors.
Yeah.
All right, stick around. We've got more reviews coming your way.
Yep.